Have you ever wondered what goes on inside a dog's mind, especially when they're around the newest, smallest member of the family? Today, we're diving into a heartwarming story that pulls back the curtain on the quiet, unspoken bond between a dog and a baby. This isn't a dramatic tale of a last-minute rescue, but something much more profound. A story about trust, patience, and the gentle guardianship that our furry friends offer. It's a story that reminds us that sometimes the most powerful moments are the quietest ones. Let's set the scene. Imagine a peaceful family home, the kind where sunlight spills across wooden floors in the afternoon. This is where our story begins and where we meet its two main characters. First, there's Leo. Leo is a Dalmatian, a breed famous for their striking black spots and intelligent, watchful eyes. He's a handsome dog, with a sleek coat and an air of quiet confidence. Leo is the family's loyal companion, always alert but never anxious. He has a way of noticing everything: the rustle of leaves outside, the hum of the refrigerator, the subtle shift of weight on the couch. He's the silent observer of the household, a living, breathing security system with a heart of gold. And then there's Adam. Adam is the newest addition to the family, a baby just a few months old. He's pure innocence, a tiny human bundle of soft skin, big curious eyes, and the sweet, milky scent of infancy. His world is a collage of simple sensations: the warmth of a blanket, the gentle rocking of his mother's arms, the comforting sound of his father's voice. Adam is a world of potential, just beginning to discover the shapes, sounds, and faces around him. One particularly golden afternoon, the house was filled with a serene stillness. The kind of quiet that feels like a warm hug. Adam was lying on a soft plush blanket spread out on the living room floor. He was positioned near a large window, and the afternoon sun cast long, gentle rays across the room, illuminating the tiny dust motes dancing in the air. The light warmed the blanket and created a cozy, sun-drenched spot for the baby. Adam was calm, his little chest rising and falling in a steady, peaceful rhythm. A short distance away, Leo was also at rest. He wasn't right next to the baby, crowding his space. Nor was he too far away out of sight in another room. He had chosen his spot with purpose, a perfect vantage point. He was close enough to be a comforting presence, but far enough to give Adam his own little island of peace. Leo lay with his head resting on his paws, his dark eyes half closed, but he wasn't truly sleeping. He was in a state of relaxed vigilance, a guardian on duty. The room was quiet, punctuated only by the soft ambient sounds of a home at rest. Suddenly, Adam stirred. His tiny arms, which had been still at his sides, waved in the air, a random, jerky movement typical of a baby exploring his own limbs. It was a small motion, barely a flutter, but in the silent room, it was significant. Instantly, Leo's head lifted from his paws. His ears, soft and spotted, perked up, swiveling slightly to pinpoint the source of the movement. His eyes, now wide open and fully focused, were fixed on the baby. There was no alarm in his posture, no tension in his body. It was pure, unfiltered attentiveness. He was watching. He was waiting. He was processing the information his senses were giving him. A few moments later, Adam made a sound. It wasn't a cry of distress or a happy gurgle. It was a small, questioning coo, a sound that seemed to ask, "What was that? What am I feeling?" It was the sound of a baby becoming aware of his own body, his own existence in this quiet, sunlit space. Now you might expect a dog to react to this. Maybe a concerned whine, a few steps closer to investigate, or perhaps a playful bark. But Leo did none of these things. He remained perfectly still. He didn't rush over to lick the baby's face. He didn't let out a single bark to signal that something had happened. He simply stayed where he was, a statue of calm reassurance. His stillness was a message in itself. It said, "I hear you. I see you. All is well." Adam, in his own baby way, seemed to register the dog's presence. His gaze, which had been wandering around the room, slowly drifted and settled on the black and white form of Leo. Their eyes met across the sun-drenched floor. The baby looked at the dog, and the dog looked at the baby. It was a moment of silent communication, a connection forged without words. And then, a subtle sign of Leo's inner state appeared. His tail, which had been still, began to move. It wasn't a frantic, excited wag. It was a slow, gentle sweep, back and forth, a quiet metronome marking the peaceful rhythm of the afternoon. A slow tail wag like that in the canine world often signifies contentment and a calm, happy mood. It was Leo's way of saying, "I'm happy you're here. I'm comfortable. Everything is okay." The room remained quiet. The sunlight continued to stream through the window. Adam, seemingly reassured by the dog's calm demeanor, settled back onto his blanket, his earlier restlessness gone. Leo, after another moment of observation, rested his head back down on his paws, though his eyes remained on the baby. There was no imminent danger. There was no dramatic rescue. This wasn't a story you'd see on the nightly news. It was something far more ordinary and yet far more beautiful. It was a simple, gentle moment of shared awareness between a baby and a dog. They were two different beings, a human and an animal, sharing the same calm space, each aware of the other, each respecting the other's presence. This quiet interaction speaks volumes about the nature of trust. Trust isn't built on grand gestures or heroic acts. It's built in these small, quiet moments. It grows in the spaces where everyone feels safe, seen, and understood. Leo's calm presence created an environment of safety for Adam. He wasn't an intruder or a threat. He was a protector, a guardian whose strength was in his stillness. For Leo, his behavior showed an incredible level of understanding and self-control. He recognized that the baby was not a squeaky toy or another puppy to play with. He understood that this tiny human was fragile and needed gentle observation, not boisterous interaction. His instincts, honed over generations of domestication and companionship, told him that his job was not to interfere, but to watch over. And for baby Adam, this early experience was shaping his perception of the world. He was learning, on a subconscious level, that the world could be a safe and peaceful place. He was learning that this four-legged creature with the soft fur and watchful eyes was a source of comfort, not fear. These are the foundational experiences that can lead to a lifelong love and respect for animals. This story of Leo and Adam is a perfect illustration of why the bond between children and pets can be so magical. It's a relationship built on a language that transcends words. It's about quiet companionship on a lazy afternoon. It says about a dog teaching a baby about safety and a baby teaching a dog about gentle care. It reminds us that sometimes the best thing we can do for those we love is to simply be there, to be a calm, steady presence in their world. Leo didn't need to perform a trick or save the day to show his love and loyalty. His quiet watchfulness was his gift. He was a silent sentinel, a gentle giant, whose very presence made the world a safer place for the smallest member of his pack. And that is the true beauty of this story. It's a testament to the fact that trust, love, and protection don't always need to be loud. Sometimes they are found in the quietest corners of our lives, in the shared silence between a Dalmatian and a baby, bathed in the warm afternoon sun. Because trust grows when everyone feels safe, and in that quiet room, safety was a silent promise, kept by a very good dog named Leo. What do you think? Have you ever witnessed a quiet moment like this between a pet and a child? It's these subtle interactions that truly reveal the depth of their bond. Let me know your own stories in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Thanks so much for watching and sharing this moment with me. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more heartwarming content. We'll see you in the next one.